Did you hear that? I just wanted to get Mango on here. Yeah, this is Mango. She loves kisses on the top of her head. Look at that. We're taking pictures of you. Yeah, no, you can't go on. I know there's a cat there, isn't there? There's a cat there. But it's you, sweetie. It's you, yeah. 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 She'll be here in a minute. Yes, she will, and she'd love to have you sit on her lap. Yes, she would. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good for the. What are you doing? You are a troublemaker today, aren't ya? Hey, leave it alone. Mango, hey, no. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, you. Hello. Yeah. Come on. No. Mango. A toy. A toy. A toy. Oh boy. Yeah, should be here in a minute. There she is. There she is. Mango is here to greet you.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Where'd she go? She was here.
Oh, she's sitting by the skip. She's like,
Oh.
do I skip? Is this the one to visit? Hi,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
sweet
Oh,
girl.
boy.
Hi, sweet girl.
She is.
Hi.
She's been very sweet this morning.
Oh, sweet thing. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah, usually it's Smokey that comes down and
Yeah.
visits me.
He'll appear at some point.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you this
I
morning?
am well. How are you?
Good. I'm very well, thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yes. As are you two?
I don't think Linda's Carol is joining Linda. You're
I'm
Linda.
here.
I don't think Carol is joining us today.
Yeah, I thought I saw an email from her that she wouldn't be, but
She's dealing with all her daughters and grandchildren. So, so how have you been? I haven't seen you.
I know it's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. February was kind of a lost cause. Hi, Loki.
Yeah. Oh boy, a guest.
Yeah, February felt like it was kind of a lost month because I got so sick.
Yeah.
That surprised me because it was first round was flu,
Yeah.
and I had the flu shot, so
I've heard a lot of that
it
happening.
lasted about a week or so, and then I was kind of about 80%, and then a sinus infection hit in. So yeah. So yeah.
Not that you needed any of that.
No, but you know, it is what it is, and
Isn't that the
it's
truth?
over, and it's
Good.
spring. It's feeling spring-like out there.
It is indeed.
Yeah, I had the guys come and finish my lawn cleanup because I didn't do it last fall. So they came and did it for me the other day. So yeah, it's looking pretty good, ready for
Good.
planting. So I'm excited, and I'm feeling up to doing it. I feel like I'm wanting to do it this year. Last year I was
good.
kind of in a maybe.
Oh.
Maybe, so it's feeling better. And
It's,
how about you guys?
Actually, we're good. I'm doing very well. I had echocardiogram yesterday that indicated that my heart was actually improving.
Oh, fabulous. Fabulous.
Which I like to hear.
Yeah.
I've been feeling very well, other than some difficulty sleeping, but that's a newish thing for me. I think both the political scene and I'm still dealing with my son, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They tell you grief just goes on, and it certainly does. But actually, last night I actually had a good night's sleep. So.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
So we're good. Jane's good. She's got a couple of issues, but just nagging things that come and go.
Yep.
So. But other than that, we're doing great.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Good.
And really looking forward to spring.
Yes, me too.
And how's your? Are you gradually getting some help in your work situation?
A little bit, yeah. There's a young woman that's been playing with me in the Spanish Mass, and she's ready to take over. If she doesn't want it as a full-time job, but I called her and said, maybe next weekend, not this coming Sunday, but the following weekend, I might take off. And then just as I was driving out here, I'm like, I can't take off because I got something on Saturday that I gotta do. I'm not paying enough attention to the work. I think that's an indication that I'm not really that into it.
Yeah.
Because there was a friend of mine, she and her husband go to New Orleans. They have a timeshare down there. And they love going down. They go down every once in a while just to hear jazz.
Yeah.
And the timeshare is directly across the street from the Jazz Museum. So they can sit on their balcony and hear whatever's going on there.
Oh, jeez.
And so she was
I'm jealous.
Me too. And so she was telling me about this, and she was saying there's a jazz festival that's not well known, but it's mostly local musicians, but she said it's always very, very good, very high quality, that's going on next weekend. She said, oh, it's too bad you have your church job. I wish you could go with us. And I'm like, maybe I can. And as I'm driving up here, I'm like, I have a wedding that weekend.
Oh, shoot.
So, it's a good thing I didn't buy my plane ticket, because I have everything all ready.
Our boy Dylan is in New Orleans.
Yeah?
His dad lives down. That's one of his houses there.
Okay. Okay.
And Dylan goes down and works part-time for him now. Stays there. His dad isn't always there, so.
Okay.
He's a craftsman, so. All interesting.
So tell him about the Danny Barker. She said it's got this really weird name. Danny Barker Banjo and Guitar Festival.
Oh, he'll know about it, I'm sure.
Yeah. She's going for that, and then she's also got a jazz pianist that she's been following that she actually had a piano lesson with.
Oh, wow.
That she was pretty excited about.
I'll bet.
So she's trying to connect with him when they go down. They're going down on Monday and staying for a full week, and I was trying to clear my schedule, see if I could go down Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah. Well.
Next time. Next time.
Well, we probably ought to get this started.
Yes.
Because I have to kind of dash at the end on another doctor appointment. Some weeks, that's all I seem to do. Other weeks, I don't have any, so. So any thoughts, questions? How's your intent in your meditation?
Intent has been much better. It's been more inward focusing, which is why I think I'm ignoring everything outside. And it's been one of the other meditation groups that I was working with had a discussion about trust. And so I kind of combined them, the intent to trust me. And I feel things, I can't really put my finger on it, what it is, but it's just kind of this feeling that things are a little bit better. It just, it's, I can't say how or why or what, but it just feels better.
It's interesting, the bringing trust into it, and I like that thought. Because I think if you can focus that trust, that the intent, if you really use the intent, that it will accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, can really be helpful. And just simply trusting that meditation is going to help you. And that's, I don't think that's a question for you, but I think it's something that comes up a lot for people beginning meditation. So it's kind of interesting. I agree. I think trust is certainly a relative word. Experience.
Yeah, I don't think it's so much the idea of meditating itself. It's just me finding the trusting in me enough that I actually do it. Because I get to that point where I'm like, no, I should do this instead, or I should, it's just that inconsistency that I don't have that discipline in my life. And part of it is I don't value what I bring to the table. And I think there's a component in there that if I can bring out more of the trust in me, that what I do will impact me, and I know that up here.
Yeah.
I just don't know it here well enough to put it here into practice, and I'm hoping that that's going to lead me to that connection better.
I think it can. That's interesting. Trusting that it will have an impact, that it will make a difference. And I think the only way you can know that is in doing it. As you've said, you can know it up here, but that's like the difference between intent and using the intention to accomplish something.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why that lecture that you gave just really resonated, because that's exactly it.
Yep.
Yeah. And I've done it enough that I know, but it's not been consistent enough that really what I want is just not there. And so, yeah, So yeah, you're absolutely right. That the intent versus using the intent.
Yeah.
You know, I've got the newspaper, but I don't read it.
Don't read it.
Actually, yes. Not in this era right now. So,
No,
but yeah,
no.
yeah. So.
Just a side note, I saw a quote from the Dalai Lama, which I felt applied to our present situation. And that was, if you feel that you're just too inconsequential to make any difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. So my thought is we all need to be mosquitoes.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, on another day, we can talk about that.
Yeah. Right.
I've been finding some great swarms of mosquitoes to join.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good.
No.
So, little heaven. No, we don't do heaven and earth. We do the energy gates with this one. So, stepping out. Settling into your basic structure, opening to the earth beneath your feet, allowing yourself to merge downwards. Let the feet and ankles, legs and quad relax, not becoming limp, but opening to that downward flow. And feeling your connection upward, that support from the heavens. And that downward flow, the two mixing, exchanging, constant. And then bringing our focus onto the downward flow. And allowing that sinking energy to drop the energy we can no longer use into the earth, to be renewed and recycled. And then coming back to center and being aware of that constant flow of both yin and yang, both moving in both directions constantly. Allow the breathing to slow and lengthen. For the entire body to breathe. and flowing into cloud hands. Aware of the circularity and sphericalness of your movement. The weight on the feet changing from side to side. The energy flowing in and out. And into the swings. Feeling the constant rotation of the arms and legs. Allowing the arms to rise and sink with the movement. have a sec. Do you ever have any questions about energy gates? Please feel free to ask. Not that I feel you're too shy about asking. So when we actually begin to meditate today, we'll go back to intent. But I'm going to continuing our exploration of some of the beginning basic things. I'm going to talk a little bit about spirituality and Taoist meditation today. So, I think there is an assumption that in the Eastern traditions of meditation, or in Gnostic Christianity, or the Kabbalah, the inner traditions, that a human being is a certain way, that they potentially want to be able to be better. They have the potential to be more spiritual and universal in scope, rather than just being like a monkey who wants to grab bananas any way it can and wherever it can. The cruelty of the world is usually not described as being spiritual, whereas the kindness and benevolence of the world is. And there are two ways spirituality is looked at. First, it makes you a better person, and from this point of view of almost all religious traditions, that is not enough. And that's naturally, and that's not really what spirituality is about. In the modern times, some would say, just consult a psychologist, and that will probably do it for you. Although someone who gets involved in spirituality or meditation will usually have the idea that a part of it is that they will become a better person. However, they have to go past that. They have to go back to essentially finding inside themselves and within their practice, and in the way that they are engaging with the world, how to engage with things that are permanent rather than temporary. So something that is temporary comes and goes. You can be a good person today and a terrible person tomorrow. So it's good to rise up to where you have the more universal qualities of love and compassion and caring and intelligence and perception, happiness and joy. But all of that is ultimately on the surface. It is meant to get you to the entrance level, like buying the movie ticket to get you into the theater. When you're in the theater, you want to go beyond your mind. For example, using the God example, you want to go and directly communicate with God. Not obey the decisions by somebody else and about what you should do, but do it directly. You want the whole God experience. The Buddhists and the Taoists, however, don't believe in God, but since we are in a Christian part of the world, or at least it has been so for the past 1900 years, that's the common metaphor that's in circulation in the West. Now, if you look at meditation, let's just say you're going from a grosser level to a higher level of how to live as a human being. You're acting more like a human and less like an animal, as Taoists would put it. We all know what animals do. Don't make a tiger angry. That can be a tough situation. But you also could have a tiger that will behave like a nice pussycat, that will take care of you and be friendly and playful with your children. But that's not the usual tiger. Usually they're going to eat the children, particularly if they haven't eaten for a while. So you're in a state A, and you want to get to state B. We are going to call B spirituality and A not spirituality. Usually this is not going to happen by accident. Usually you're going to have to go through a lot of what's in you to arrive at this place. If it were all that easy, as the phrase goes, everybody would be a Buddha. But there are not too many of them running around, as we know. Is every Christian like Jesus Christ? I don't think that's the case either. So there's an actual big distance between where most human beings are and what they're capable of being. So we're just trying to go from A to B. Now there are two basic ways that you can go from A to B with all sorts of variations. A and some ways of combining them. Combining A with a bit of B or B with A. Each of them touching the edges of the other. Now in Asia they have the way, the Tao, and they think about it. They say that you don't need to create God. You don't need to create spirituality. It is already in you. If you will just clear away all the negative stuff that surrounds it. If you get rid of that, then whatever is there shows up. Or as the Taoists put it, if you get rid of the false, all that will remain is the true. And this can be described as the creative way of doing it. If we take the example of a statue, a sculptor, and all the artists who have created statues throughout history, some do it one way and some do it another. Some will start with a big rock. Actually, they'll all start with a big rock. If you're going to do the creative way, you essentially sit down with perhaps a piece of paper, or in some way you draw or plan or say exactly what you're going to do with that rock, what you're going to take away. And then you have to start and carve away. Chop that off and this off and do this and do that until you create the statue you want. But the fact of the matter is that if you think it through first, you create the idea because it came out of your head. It wasn't there before. And then you create the rock. You carve the rock. This is what many sculptors do. There's a second way it's done, which I guess in the West could be called more of a Zen way of doing it. But frankly speaking, this is how Michelangelo described what he did. You have a rock, and you just kind of look at the rock. You walk around it, and you communicate with the rock. And then when you think that you've linked with the rock, you take up your chisel and you let the rock tell you what to get rid of, until what is innately inside that rock comes out. And that's your statue. But you don't do it. You just let it happen. You experience. You listen to what is inside of the rock. And you allow it to come out. Some of the finest statues the world has ever seen have been created by this method. And as well, many other fine statues have come from the other way of creating them. But these are the two ways of doing it. In the East, in Taoism, but not in Buddhism or in Hinduism, there are two methods. The two methods have been described as fire and water. The creative way is fire. The way of letting it emerge is called water. You don't have to do anything. In the tradition of Taoism, the old tradition was water. Then around 1000 AD, from a lot of different influences, the fire tradition arose in Taoism. So in the water tradition of Taoism, we now have this whole thing of not creating, but allowing something to emerge. And this is what when you start talking about dissolving. You are arriving at the level of beginning to use intent. The only difference is that the intent of the waterway is just to allow what's not real to release and go away. Whereas the intent of any fire tradition is at higher and higher levels to decide what you're going to create. We can call this a kind of engineering. That's what engineers do. All engineering is based on that basic principle. But the waterway of doing things is to allow what is naturally there to have a way to come out and express itself. So let us sit. Find yourself in a good, straight, erect position. And breathing. Focusing on your breathing for a moment and allowing it to expand through your whole body. And then extend your mind through your body. And then focus your meditation in whatever way is best for you at this time. It could be on anxiety or forgiveness, clearing energetic blockages from wherever they appear, or from a specific energy body, or using a specific agenda. Just focus your intent and make it happen as much as it can at this time. You can begin to close whenever you're ready. Sending all benefit gained from this practice out to help all the sentient creatures of the universe. Any last minute thoughts or questions?
Last session, the idea of is your mind in your body or your body in your mind was really fun to play with. It felt like it just expanded, because I'd always thought mind and body, but to think reverse, it just expanded things so much.
Good.
That's fun.
Well, have a great couple of weeks.
You too. Thank you.
You know, it occurred to me at one point to just to say to you, you can always leave and say hi to Jane on the way if you wish.
Well, especially if you have an appointment, be sure you push me along because we'll stop and chat too much.
I know. Well, I will push you along because we do have to move.
So I will refrain from saying hi to her today.
Okay.
And check with her next time.
All right.
But give her a hello for me.
I will do that.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome, thank you. Sorry you can't go to New Orleans.
I know. It's just like arg.
Darn.
Yeah, it was one of those last minute things that it's like, oh, is this really gonna work? And then I let myself believe that it would.